Warriors, welcome to this video. Today, guys, we're talking about symptoms of anxiety. I want to make sure that you understand what is going on with your body, with your mind, with your entire system, so you no longer think that symptoms of anxiety can in fact kill you. Now, when it comes to symptoms of anxiety, we have to understand something. Where the heck did this investigative side of me begin? Where did it start? For me and many people I work with, it started with an authority figure, someone that was behaving and thinking and saying the things that caused the fear. The investigative side of you has attached itself to this authority figure. Now, for me, it was my dad. He had anxiety disorder, okay? I had anxiety disorder. He spent lots of time in the emergency room. I spent lots of time in the emergency room. He never really told me how to deal with fear or that I should deal with fear. My teachers always told me to avoid things, never talk to people you don't know. You know, if something felt uncomfortable or iffy, I was never told to confront it, to find answers to it. I was always told to bypass it in some way. That kind of avoidance behavior fuels more investigating of the symptoms, more curiosity, what could it be? More fear, more what if thinking, what if this, what if that, more reassurance and more coping methods. Coping, managing, and eliminating your anxiety are two different planets, okay? A lot of people go about their lives trying to cope and manage. Of course, there's different levels of anxiety we must understand. But the mindset is crucial. Coping, managing, eliminating, two different paths, two different pains, one long-term, one short-term. Now, let's understand that with that authority figure comes repetition. When my dad started to do things over and over again, started to say things over and over again, that began to get in there in my subconscious mind. My subconscious mind said, "Whoa, okay. Well, I guess we're going to inherit these kind of beliefs, these kinds of values. We must act similarly because it's our safety mechanism." When we pay attention to symptoms, when we think that they may kill us, we are on guard. We are on guard. And in case something happens, we will be ready for that. That's basically what your body's trying to tell you. Make sure that you protect yourself from the saber-toothed tiger. But there are four main fears connected to experiencing these symptoms of anxiety. Four main ones. The first one is the fear of dying. And that's something I had for a very long time. Then the fear of going crazy. That's another one that a lot of people experience. Then there's fainting. Then there's humiliation. Okay? These are four fears connected to investigating those symptoms of anxiety. All of a sudden, you take a more absorbed, confronting viewpoint to your symptoms of anxiety, and you change the fear of dying. You say, if this is the root cause, which is causing me to become more curious with my symptoms of anxiety, then I'm gonna change this attachment, this perspective I have. All of a sudden, the fear of dying doesn't become such a fear when you start thinking about reincarnation, when you start thinking about the idea that our body passes but our soul survives. There are many different ways how we can tweak the way we see death. And therefore, when a symptom arises, if there's an attachment there, you will no longer be the spy, the investigator that goes deep into those symptoms. You will be neutral. We want to be neutral when we feel something. We want to eat vanilla ice cream when we feel symptoms of anxiety. Not literally, not action-based, but we want to feel that way. It's just vanilla. Don't go get a tub of vanilla ice cream. There's too much sugar. Going crazy. I'm not going crazy. This is an opportunity for me to learn through this experience. This is a challenge. When I get a symptom, it is a challenge. When I feel something, it is a challenge. When I go and read something and I usually attach it to my own world, this is a challenge for me to deal with. Because if I deal with it, the next time it happens, I will begin becoming more and more and more and more neutral, to the point where I no longer pay attention or care about these symptoms, okay? If in fact they are related to anxiety, of course you've gotten everything checked out by the doctor. Fainting. I'm not fainting, I'm just mobilized. I've got lots of adrenaline right now. Instead of fainting, why don't I go for a jog or a big walk or a bike ride or something like that? I can use this. Humiliation, I can replace that as well. It's not humiliation. Everybody at some point in their lives goes through anxiety. Some more mild, some more severe. But the anxiety disorder numbers are increasing in the world. Yes, that was an ambulance. The physiological symptoms can mimic a heart attack. Let's understand, they can mimic a heart attack in a lot of ways. Shortness of breath, dizziness, chest pains. These are all things that say, oh my goodness, am I dying from this symptom of anxiety? This thing I'm feeling, is this the moment? I went through those moments, many of them, until I began detaching myself from the need to over-worry about those symptoms. I tapped into my subconscious. I changed my thought patterns. I changed my behaviors. I changed the meanings of things. I went back into those traumatic experiences and I looked at it differently and I gained the lesson from it. There are many things that the End the Anxiety program can teach you to begin overcoming this today. But let's understand, 25% of people that visit the ER for chest pains are actually experiencing panic. 1 out of 4 people that you see sitting in the emergency room are there because of panic. They might not show it. They've got the mask. We know very well about the mask. We put the mask on when we get up in the morning, when we have to face our day. I used to put on the mask every single day, the smile. I'm good. Don't worry about me. Internally, I was just running ragged. There was chaos. There was no calmness, only chaos. Out here, there was calmness. In here, there was chaos. Not many people knew about my chaos. But your body is reacting to an increase in adrenaline. Let's understand that. Your body is reacting to an increase in adrenaline. These chemicals begin to flow through your body, activating your sympathetic nervous system. Your sympathetic nervous system and your parasympathetic nervous system are 2 different systems that automatically get activated. There are different things that trigger one system compared to the other system. It's a convincing game. It's a convincing game. When you convince your system that there is no threat, your parasympathetic system comes into play. You begin to rest. You begin to digest. You begin to feel more better, feel better. So the system shuts down digestion completely. When your sympathetic is on, you are mobilizing every part of your body to begin to either run from something or fight back against something. It's important to understand the sympathetic and the parasympathetic systems, because these are the very systems that cause us to take further action in some way. Now, let's understand one thing, guys. With these symptoms of anxiety, we can always change the interpretation. We can always change the way we see them when they come up. Now, fear and anxiety are ingrained within us. They are hardwired within us. Why? Because fear and anxiety creates action. Fear and anxiety doesn't mean we internalize whatever it is that we're thinking of or whatever's going on out there as far as a practical problem goes, and we create an emotional problem behind it. No. When you feel fear, when you feel anxiety, that's a signal for you that some form of action needs to be taken. That action could be internal. It could be, you know what, Dennis? You need to go back and get your traumas organized. You need to make sure that you see your traumas in a different light. You have to make sure you see your father in a different way. You need to make sure that you go back internal and have a conversation with the protective side of you that is always trying to protect you. And that's why you constantly feel these rushes of adrenaline, these symptoms of anxiety. It's really important, guys, that we understand that the symptoms of anxiety can never kill you, okay? But they are discouraging. They are uncomfortable. They are not a need to eliminate. You want to eliminate them because they're uncomfortable. But understand, when you look at them as a want, I want to make them disappear, I want to eliminate them from my life, instead of I need to eliminate them from my life, then the path you take begins to change. Now all of a sudden you've got options. Now all of a sudden you see yourself as someone who's not highly sensitive, but someone who's just experiencing what? Symptoms of anxiety. Don't take care of the symptom. Take care of the anxiety. The anxiety. What got you here? What makes it worse? What do I need to do to get long-term change? That's the 3-step process. Those are the questions you must ask yourself today, because symptoms of anxiety are just that. We all get them at some point. Some people decide to pay attention to them, whereas other people decide to disrespect them more because they know what's causing them. They have a deep understanding of their mind-body system. They get it. Guys, love you so very much. Make sure to subscribe. Make sure to like and share this video with anybody suffering from symptoms of anxiety. If you have any questions, hit me up on anxietyexit.com. I'll see you guys in the next video. And remember, you are more than anxiety.